The simple strategy tool. First, draw a cross in the middle of the page. Label each axis from 0 to 10 to create a graph axis. Next, we need two labels to define our measures. Along the bottom, we are going to label and measure how good we are at the activity represented by our strategy options. At the side, we're going to label and measure what is needed. This might be measuring how much a customer wants a product or how much a beneficiary needs a service. This will cover considerations such as how many or much a customer or beneficiary wants, sometimes known as the size of market, and the urgency or desperation around this need. So now we're going to plot any strategy ideas we have on this axis. We need to make sure we can identify which mark represents which strategy. Firstly, we move from left to right to represent how good we are at this strategy, from not very good on the left to perfect on the right. Then we will plot from top to bottom according to how much is needed, with not needed at all at the bottom to everyone needs this at the top to give you a final position. Here we've plotted 7 potential strategies indicating how good we are at them and how much they are needed. Our next step is to analyse these. In order to do this, the first thing we need to do is rule out what makes no sense at all to do, and we're going to mark these in orange blocks. We know it is either not needed because it is below this line, or we are not good at it, indicated by being to the left of this centre line. So we rule out these options. Next, we're going to create 2 amber areas that represent a moderate risk. At the top, we have things that we aren't so good at but are needed, and on the right we have things that we are good at but aren't necessarily needed. We can choose to operate in this top area, which represents things that we aren't necessarily good at but are needed, with a view to improving how good we are at this thing, perhaps through training or staff education. If we choose to operate in this area on the right, we may need to educate the customer or beneficiary as to why they need the thing that we are going to do. But we need to recognise that this is a higher risk strategy to achieving our vision. It is this green area which represents the sweet spot of our strategy. You can say, I am good at this and it is needed. But how do you choose between successful strategies? It may seem that you should opt for the thing that you are best at and is most needed, that we've circled here. But if you assess them more closely, you might find factors which change that, such as cost or competition. You might find that one strategy has fierce competition and the other has very little. Remember, this tool can't make the decision for you. It's a simple strategy tool to guide you in what might be a successful strategy.